Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Girls Basketball here on Hamilton County Television. We are live from the Shamrock Dome, whatever we want to call it. What do they call this gym here? I don't know if they got a name for it or not, but anyways, we are live in Westfield, Indiana for tonight's matchup between the Fishers Tigers and the Westfield Shamrocks. Our presentation tonight on Hamilton County Television is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors: Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, the Hamilton County Calendars, the Westfield Chamber of Commerce, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. We're about 3 minutes away from player introductions and the national anthem. My name is Brad Silver. To my immediate left is Jack Russell. Further on down the line is Victor McCarty. It's nice to have you guys here tonight. We're looking for a good game here tonight. Jack, it's going to probably be a close one.
Absolutely. Taking a look at the numbers, you are absolutely right. It's going to be a close one. Looking even at the projections, about a difference of 6 points. So we'll see if the home field advantage kind of makes it even tighter.
Victor, the Shamrocks come in here tonight with I believe they're 3-0 or 3-1.
3-1. Yes.
3-1, one loss. Both teams with one loss. Let's talk a little bit about the Shamrocks.
Yeah, absolutely. Westfield coming in 3-1. Their one loss coming against Pendleton Heights, 42-41, so just 1 point. But we were discussing before coming on the air of how Pendleton Heights has just ran rampant throughout Central Indiana. They're a great team this year. I look towards head coach Jenny Smith really leading the team, and as you guys mentioned, it's going to be a tough one against these Fishers Tigers, who are 5-1, and their lone loss going against Center Grove 43-40 at the beginning of the season. I really like Megan Ropes, Carly Winger, Annabelle O'Hare. We got some good players for the Shamrocks tonight.
Well, there are, according to my count, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors on this team, and a couple juniors and a lot of sophomores. So, they've got a good nucleus, but they've also looked like they're building for the future, too.
Oh, absolutely. Again, we were talking pregame. When I was here, we still had Jen Anderson playing, and she was a big loss. And ever since then, the Shamrocks have really tried to find their identity of what kind of team they are. Jen Anderson's a one-in-a-lifetime type of player. The Rocks come in, points per game 46, field goal percentage 36 per game, rebounds per game 28, assists 10, steals 11, turnovers 17, and fouls 18. But that's very comparable to the Fishers Tigers, who points per game 50, field goal percentage 39, rebounds per game 30. So these numbers are just off by a few, and it's going to be a close one.
Well, in talking to Tiger head coach Lauren Vale tonight, this is her first year as a head coach. Michael Gaines moved on to other opportunities, going back to his hometown of Shelbyville after being one of the original coaches at Fishers when they reopened the school back about 10, 12 years ago. And Michael has moved on. Lauren has moved up to take over the reins of that. They come in 5-1, and as you said, Victor, they've got some good quality victories behind them. Just barely losing to Center Grove. The final outcome was 13 points, but there's a lot of people who really believe that that might have been a winning opportunity for them. But they were up in Valparaiso last weekend and beat both Lake Central and Valparaiso. They've got wins against Anderson, Southport, and Ben Davis. So they have played some pretty cotton-picking good teams. Now, the key to this whole thing is going to come down to a couple factors. First of all, this is the beginning of Hoosier Crossroad Conference play. This is the first conference game going on tonight, and so it's just one of those things that we are looking ahead here. And the Brownsburg is at Noblesville tonight, and Fishers here at Westfield. So we've got two conference games going on tonight, and those are extremely important because the conference is a conference, and of course then we go on to later in the season we go into the sectional, and of course the sectional not only include these two teams, but will also include the Carmel Greyhounds, who are number 1 ranked in the state right now.
Absolutely.
And we're just about ready to pay honor to America here with the national anthem. And as soon as we do that, we'll turn it over to public address announcer Brad Neal, who will introduce the starting lineups to us.
As the Westfield Pep Band performs the national anthem.
We will stay with public address announcer Brad Neal as he introduces the starters for tonight's game.
Fisher's Lady Tigers. A senior wearing number 11, Tony Grace. A senior wearing number 20, Ali Gerka. Sophomore number 22, Tamina Perryman. A senior number 25, Kennedy London. And sophomore number 32, Lydia Skolkin. Lady Tigers are led by head coach Lauren Vale. Now let's get the starting lineup for your Lady Shamrocks. A sophomore wearing number 15, Carly Whitaker. A sophomore wearing number 24, Ashton DeRay. A junior number 5, Jay Shipley. A senior number 32, Annabelle O'Hare. And completing the lineup, a senior wearing number 10, Megan Ross.
So there you have the starting lineups for tonight's game. Sitting between Victor and I is none other than Jack Russell. Jack, you've heard us talk about both these teams. What are your thoughts on this game?
I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. I think the number one thing here is going to be from a three-point percentage. Both teams have a very, very low percentage. So it's going to be who's the most physical down low. Anybody that finds the opportunity to be more physical and get to the ball quickly is going to have the difference in this game.
Well, you know, both of these teams, if you look at the overall stats, they are very, very close. Both teams are shooting in the upper 30s in field goal percentage, with the Tigers at 39 and the Shamrocks at 36. And three-point wise, the Tigers, you have to give them just a little bit of an edge on it.
Absolutely. Up the floor. Perryman over to Stolkin. Stolkin over to London. London with the ball, cross court, back to Perryman. Grace with the ball, sets up the offense. Stolkin at top of the key, gets it back over to Grace. Grace drives and she fouled.
I really just see that happening a lot tonight, Jack. Tony Grace, she's averaging 15 points per game, so she loves to drive that basketball.
Grace at the line to shoot two. First one's up and good.
Grace is a 71% free throw shooter. She's attempted 34 free throws already this season, now number 35, and she's made 25.
And
gets both of those.
Good.
Unlike the game we saw the other night, Jack.
Oh, goodness.
Free throws are falling tonight to begin with.
Could be a travel call. Grace to bring the ball up the floor. Grace looks, gets to Gurka. Gurka cross court over to Perryman. Perryman with the ball, gets it over to Grace. Grace looks, tops for the three, and it's good.
She's only a 14% three-point shooter, but she makes the first attempt there.
Shipley down low to Rops. Rops looks for the opportunity down low, blocked. Grace quickly down the floor.
She went out of bounds. Just barely caught that left foot on the baseline, so ball turns over to the Shamrocks.
Winiger brings the ball up the floor. Sets up the offense. High ball screen. Winiger looks, drives, up for the layup, and it's good.
Carly Winiger had just a wide open lane to go right in there and get that easy 2-point goal.
Grace over to London. Up top to Stolkin. Over to Grace. Grace at the top of it for three. No good. Rebound by the Shamrocks. Quickly down the floor come the Shamrocks. Another layup and foul.
I think that's going to probably go on Lauren Emerson. We'll have to see who it is. No, it's not Emerson. Kennedy London picks up her first. DeCrane is a 50% free throw shooter.
DeCrane up and good. Grace quickly down the floor. Looks, gets it back to Grace. Grace at the top of the key to set up the offense. Grace drives, kicks it out to Gurka. Gurka looks, gets it over to London, over to Perryman. Back over to Grace. Grace has the opportunity, drives, and she's fouled.
Looks like that one's probably going to go against Carly Weininger.
Westfield's 15, Carly Weininger, her first, team second. Tony Grace at the line to shoot two.
Grace up. And good. Grace up. And good.
Grace remains perfect from the line so far tonight. She's been holding all the points for the Tigers thus far.
Shipley to bring the ball up the floor. Looks down low. It's good.
That was a pass by inches, just barely able to get the score for the Rocks.
Great job by Winiger. Perryman over to London. High ball screen. London over to Grace. Grace down low to Perryman. Perryman drives baseline up, no good. Rebound by Stolkin, no good.
Bree McGee and Skylar Fulton both come in for the Tigers.
Shipley brings the ball up the floor. Looks for the option. Gets it over to O'Hare. O'Hare drives.
They're calling them tight tonight.
Yes, they are.
Lydia Stulkin picks up her first foul, second team foul of the half.
Winiger to inbound. Looks into Rops. Into O'Hare. O'Hare up, no good. Rebound by the Tigers.
Great defense, locking it down by the Tigers and drilling it back on the opposite side of the court now.
Grace with the ball. Looks, gets it over to Perryman. Perryman looks to Fulton. Fulton looks, gets it back to Perryman. Perryman drives. It's going to be on the floor.
Offensive foul. Stulkin has picked up 2 fouls here in the last minute or so. 3rd team foul already.
Winiger brings the ball up the floor, sets up the offense. Looks down low. Winiger again, no good. Rebound by the Tigers. Grace quickly up the floor. Cross court to Perryman. Perryman to Grace. Grace to McGee. McGee looking for something. Gets it over to Perryman. Perryman over to Grace. Grace drives. Up. No good. Rebound by O'Hare. Quickly down the floor to Shipley. Shipley pump fakes. Blocked. But it's going to stay Shamrock ball.
Last touch by the Tigers. The Shamrocks got a break there. They'll get the ball inbound right under the net.
One thing I've noticed thus far is that the Tigers, they're doing a fantastic job of moving the ball. But the Rocks defense, they're locking it down, playing man, and making sure they cannot make it to the basket.
Shipley up and one. Shipley with an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Brianna McGee picks up her first foul. Shipley with the opportunity for the 3-point play.
Shipley up. No good. Rebound by the Tigers. McGee brings the ball up the floor. Looks, gets it to Grace. Grace looks, gets it over to Fulton. Fulton quickly over to Perryman. High ball screen. Walker. Walker over to Grace. High ball screen again. Looks, kicks it out to McGee. Fulton. And Grace to set up the offense. McGee drives, puts it up. No good. Rebound Shamrocks.
That was a great job right there by Carly Winiger, blocking out to make sure the Rocks can get the ball.
Loose ball. Possession arrow goes to the Shamrocks. Winiger sets up the offense. Looks for the high ball screen from DeCrane. Blocked by Walker. Quickly come the Shamrocks. Grace looks for the opportunity, fires it. No good. Winiger with the rebound.
Another one and done for the Tigers. The Rocks defense coming up and doing a good performance there.
Shipley for 3. And it's good.
All of a sudden now momentum on the side of the Shamrocks, and Tigers are going to take their first time out.
While we take a timeout, let's remind you that celebrating 25 years in business, that's Logan Street Signs and Banners. They specialize in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit their brand-new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'd like to take just a moment to thank our great Hamilton County Television technical crew. We got Katie at the controls, Bill over on the camera, bringing you all the pictures and all the action here tonight from Westfield High School from the Varsity Gym. We got a 10-7 lead for the Shamrocks right now.
And real quick, speaking of leads, an update for football sectionals happening. Ben Davis is leading Avon 22-6.
Not a surprise at all.
Grace with the ball, gets it over to Fulton. Fulton looks over to McGee. Back over to Grace. Walker high ball screen. Looks for the isolation potentially. Walker back to Grace. Gets it over to McGee. Stolen by O'Hare. And Bunting back into the game now.
O'Hare did a nice job of stealing that ball away, Jack. She just stepped right in there and took it away from the Tigers.
Shipley drives baseline, fires it up.
She's going to shoot too.
I mentioned that one of the things that the Fishers Tigers are doing great right now is passing the ball, but it seems like they might be doing that too much. They can't just be seldom in their attack. They have to just drive towards the basket, because when they are seldom, that's when the Rocks are able to stop them.
Bree McGee picks up her second foul. Lydia Stulkin also with 2 for the Tigers. 5 total on the team. Shipley makes her first free throw. The Rocks are now 2 for 4 at the free throw line.
Rebound by the Tigers. Looks for an option. Grace with the ball. Looks, drives baseline. Stay in there.
Grace was looking for a little slap on the arm there, and she just did not get the call.
Grace to inbound. Ball on the floor. Possession arrow goes to the Tigers. Substitution.
Allie Gurka comes back in from a brief rest. Tony Grace goes out. She has all the scoring so far for the Tigers tonight.
Traveling.
McGee came right in and traveled with the ball.
Unfortunately, this early into the game, Fishers Tigers have made a few mistakes that have just kept them out of it.
Winiger with the ball. High ball screen by DeCrane. Winiger looks, gets it to DeCrane. She's got a 3 if she wants it. No good. Rebound by the Shamrocks. DeCrane again. Up, no good. Rebound by Bunting, and it's good.
Bunting picks up her first 2 points of the night. Extends the Shamrock lead to 6.
McGee looks, gets it over to Fulton. Fulton quickly over to London. And it's a traveling call.
Another travel by the Tigers.
It's about the 4th or 5th turnover for the Tigers already here in the first quarter.
Absolutely. I'd like to go back real quick to the play that just occurred. Sophia Craig, she was the star of that play where she was able to box out, get that offensive rebound at 5'8". She's going to be a great presence for the Rocks tonight.
Up and good by Henson, and it's a timeout by the Fishers Tigers.
Full timeout, Fishers.
Fans, we want to tell you a little bit about Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter. The Rocks have jumped out to an 8-point lead with just a shade under a minute here in the first quarter. I'm not going to say they've dominated the first quarter, but they certainly have done a good job so far in the first 7 minutes.
Yes, they have, and I think a lot of it has to do with the turnover battle. I think sometimes you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot, and we looked at these statistics ahead of time. There are going to be, we've got 5 different components here. If one of them goes out of whack for one team, it's going to make a big difference.
Well, you know, Fishers relies a lot on Tony Grace for scoring. She averages 15.2 per game. But she's got a good supporting cast out there with Skylar Fulton at 4'8", Allie Gurka at 6, Tamia Perriman at 6'8", and Kennedy London at 8. But none of those people have made any, have gotten the ball into the net so far tonight. So Tigers need to get something going here and get some more points on the board.
London brings the ball up the floor. Quickly over to Gurka. Gurka over to McGee. McGee cross court back to London. Gurka looking for the baseline. Not there.
Craig just poked that ball away from Gurka. Fortunately for the Tigers, it wasn't another turnover.
Substitution. Grace back into the ball game.
Craig is showing her versatility of being able to box out, get that rebound under the ball, but also play fantastic defense.
McGee sets up the offense. Looks Fulton. Another turnover, quick turnover.
That just went right over the head of Gurka.
Craig backs over to Winiger. Winiger to Bunting, to Henson. Back to Winiger to set up the offense. Pressure by the Tigers. Winiger over to Craig. Craig looking for the option. Down low and travel.
One of the things that the Shamrocks have done tonight is they've done two things that I think have made the difference in this game. Number one, they've been patient on offense. And number two, when they have had opportunities to score, they've been able to get the ball in there and get the score. So good combination for the Shamrocks so far tonight.
Grace drives up, no good. Foul.
That's a frustration foul on the part of Skylar Fulton. She's going to pick up her first foul of the night, but the Tigers have already got 6 compared to 2 for the Shamrocks. So going into the second quarter, the Shamrocks will be shooting at least a 1-and-1 for the whole second quarter. So at the end of one, it's the Westfield Shamrocks 15, the Fishers Tigers 7. Fans, we'd like to talk just a little bit about the Hamilton County calendar. Have you heard about the calendar? It's an event calendar. Be sure to check out this calendar for upcoming events in Hamilton County, including our local high school events. If you have an event, add it to our calendar. It's easy and it's free. The Hamilton County Community Calendar has been online since 1995. You can reach the calendar online, www.hctvcalendar.com. Well, guys, we got 8 minutes in the books. We got 24 left to go, and so far, if this is any indication of how this game is going, the Shamrocks have done a good job of containing the Tigers.
Oh, absolutely, Brad. And the Tigers, they really came out swinging at the beginning. We had Grace pounding towards the basket, but since then, I really feel that the Shamrocks have been able to gather themselves and see what they want to do for the rest of the game. They've been able to play great defense, great offense, and they've been doing something that the Tigers have not, and that's being patient. They've been able to play through the ball, play through the play, and see where all it goes.
Well, we're ready for quarter number 2, 15-8 in favor of the home team, green and white.
Winiger with the ball. Sets up the offense. Gets it out to Bunting. Bunting looks back over to Winiger. Winiger looks. Picks up her dribble. Gets it over to Craig. Craig drives baseline. Pump fakes. Fires and it's good.
Some fancy footwork by the Shamrocks. Able to get another 2 points on the board.
McGee with the ball. Quickly over to Tolbert. Tolbert over to Grace. High ball screen. Looks. Gives back to McGee. Looks for the post option. Perryman sets up the offense. Down low to Tolbert. Looks. Perryman.
Tigers are looking very disorganized at this point. Good steal.
Bunting pump fakes up, and it's good.
Good move. Wow. Ryan Bunting made a nice move on that play to avoid the foul and get the easy layup.
McGee with the ball. Quick foul there on Winiger.
Winiger picks up her second foul, but it's only the third team foul of the half.
Shipley back into the ball game.
The Tigers just have not been able to get any easy shots tonight. They've shot the ball, but have not had good shots like the Shamrocks have had.
London drives, fires it, and it's good.
Well, and to speak to your point, Brad, Bunting with that last steal and basket, one thing the Rocks are able to do very well right now is keep their hands up. I always hear coaches say, keep your hands up. Well, the Rocks are doing exactly that on both offense and defense.
Craig with the ball. Looks, kicks it out to Henson. Henson drives, blocked. Perryman quickly down the floor.
The best defensive play of the night for the Tigers so far.
Perryman, and it's good.
End to end for Perryman. And she picks up her first 2 points of the night.
That was a great slice and dice right up the middle between the defenders to the basket.
Shipley to set up the offense. 8-point ball game. Looks, Shipley drives.
She's going to shoot a pair.
A nice sense of awareness and presence by Shipley of where she was at on the court. She knew her basket might not go in, but she wanted to make sure she drew that foul.
Kennedy London gets the foul, 7th team foul. 2 shots for Jade Shipley. She's an 80% free throw shooter. Now 9 for 11 on the season.
And we really need to watch out for Shipley. She was the player of the game against Pendleton Heights.
O'Hare back in the ball game. Shipley's second is up and good. So the Tigers bring the ball up the floor.
Shipley's 3 for 5 from the line tonight.
Tolbert with the ball. Looks for the option, gets it back to Perryman. Perryman looks, gets to Tolbert. Tolbert up, and it's good.
Sierra Tolbert did a nice job of getting open. She was double-teamed and managed to get away from that double team and still make a very difficult shot.
Shipley drives up, no good. Rebound by the Tigers. Quickly down the floor to Gurka. Right off the hands of Gurka. That's a Westfield ball.
Just a little bit high for Allie to grab that ball, just out of her reach.
Well, it's like when you're a quarterback, you have to make sure you lead your receiver in the right place. And as you mentioned, it's just too far to be able to get to the basket.
Shipley runs the offense.
Illegal dribble. Good call.
Little miscommunication there between the Shamrocks.
Yeah, I think she intended to pass that ball and all of a sudden realized that she didn't have anybody to pass it to and didn't have any choice trying to keep possession of it and got called for the illegal dribble. Actually, what she did is she put it on her hip, so technically a double dribble.
London runs the offense, gets it to Tolbert. That's a travel.
Tolbert wanted to take that spinning jump shot, but she spun too much on both feet instead of just one.
And that's the third travel already for the Tigers.
Shipley to run the offense. High ball screen. O'Hare looks. Turnover. London with the ball. Foul. She'll shoot two.
Annabelle O'Hare picks up her first, 4th of the half. Kennedy London, a 60% free throw shooter, will have 2.
First one's good.
And with an average of 9 points per game, she's second only to Tony Grace on her team. So look for her to always fulfill that secondary role.
London's second one is up. No good. We foul.
That's going to go on probably on Sierra Tolbert.
And it looks like we're going to do a 1-and-1.
Yes. That is on Sierra Tolbert.
17 fouls.
Yeah, that's the 8th team foul of the half.
O'Hare to shoot 1-and-1.
O'Hare, a 63% free throw shooter. Gets the first.
Good.
Her first points of the match. Two for 2.
Perryman brings the ball up the floor. High ball screen by Tolbert. She doesn't take it. Kicks it back out to London for 3. She's got it.
That was just a great play from the beginning for the Fishers Tigers, being able to drive it in, pass it out real quick, lock it down for the 3. Feel like the Tigers now trying to come back here before the half.
That's a travel. And just like that, it's a 7-point ball game with 4:15 left to play in the second.
It's almost a tale of 2 quarters where now the Rocks are looking like the Tigers from the first.
Perryman over to Tolbert. Tolbert quickly over to London. London at the top of the key. Gets it to McGee. McGee That was a quick physics lesson.
You cannot stop a moving object in motion.
That one goes against Zoe Pentecost.
Quick substitution in here. Rops back into the ball game. McGee with the ball.
Tony Grace is still on the bench.
London looks to Perryman. Perryman looks, kicks it out to London. London over to McGee. High ball screen. Over to Fulton. Fulton in trouble, gets it down to Stolkin. Stolkin, no good.
Westfield fans want a 3-second call or a 5-second call on that, and they did not get it.
And that was a great defensive stop by the Rocks, but then we had number 32, O'Hare. She was just not able to maintain the rebound and ball back to the Tigers.
London looks for the option. No good. Rebound by the Shamrocks.
Redemptive quality by O'Hare.
Got it back.
Kennedy London with the steal picks up her 8th point. And the Shamrocks want to take a timeout, and they want to take a 30-second timeout and talk about that. And while they're talking about it, let's remind you that from personal injury claims to complex business litigations, divorce cases, and whatever, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim protects the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, government bodies all over Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. Contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or simply visit their website, www.cchalaw.com. Welcome to tonight's Hamilton County Television broadcast. It's the Westfield Shamrocks entertaining the Fishers Tigers, and there's so many ways you can watch this game. Watch it right on the internet, watch it on Facebook, and so many different ways. We're glad to have you with us tonight. Thank you for joining us here in Westfield.
Shipley to bring the ball down the floor. Looking to set up the offense. Looking for Craig. Craig in the corner. Looking down low, gets it back out to Eldridge. Eldridge down the corner, fires for Bunting, and it's good.
Ryan Bunting with that 3-pointer gets her 7th point of the night.
London down to Perryman. Perryman outside to Stolkin. Stolkin over to London. Fulton looking for an opportunity. Gets it down. They're going to call on the floor.
Shamrock's got one more foul to go before the Tigers will go into the 1-and-1. That one's going to go against Eldridge.
London to inbound to McGee. Over to Perryman. Kicks it back out to Fulton.
Tony Grace still on the bench for the Tigers. That'll be number 7, so the Tigers will go to a 1-and-1 now. Sophia Craig picks up her first.
Quick substitution here. McGee being
just as we were talking about the fact that Tony Grace was still on the bench, he does come back into the game.
Another substitution, number 24, DeCrane into the ball game for the Shamrocks. It's good.
Skylar Fulton picks up her first points of the night on her first free throw. In fact, that's her first free throw of the season.
It's always a good way to start it. And the second one, no good. DeCrane with the rebound. Shipley quickly up the floor. Shipley looking for an option. Looks, gets it out to Bunting. Bunting can fire away. Not going to do it. Eldridge.
Offensive foul.
Well, you guys can see now how the Fishers Tigers, they're locking down their own side of the ball with the defense, and I think they've learned a thing or two from the Shamrocks of playing tight man-to-man defense and drifting away from the zone.
Fouls are all of a sudden even up on both teams at 8 now, where the Shamrocks have been in the shooting situation all quarter.
Perryman brings it back to the top of the key to Fulton. Fulton to London. High ball screen. Grace quickly back over to Fulton. Grace looks. Foul on the Shamrocks, and Grace will shoot a 1-and-1.
That's kind of a ticky-tacky little hand check there. Bunning picks up her first foul, 9th on the team. Puts Tony Grace at the line for 1-and-1, a 71% free throw shooter.
Walker into the ball game for the Fishers Tigers. First one's good. Well, a tale of two games from when you and I called just a couple days ago. Free throws seems to be pretty good for everybody right now.
Yes, much better than the exhibition we saw the other night.
Shipley brings the ball up the floor.
Grace with 9 points now in the game, leading scorer for the Tigers.
Over to Bunting. Bunting for three.
Boy, no, that looked good from my angle.
Ball down. Perryman quickly over to Grace. Grace for two.
Long two, but she drains it. Grace picks up points number 10 and 11, and all of a sudden we're down to a 3-point game with just about a minute and 10 seconds left.
Shipley to DeCrane. DeCrane gets it back to Eldridge. Eldridge over to Shipley for three. It's good.
Good. Oh, wow. What a shot by Jade Shipley.
That ball hung in the air for about 5 seconds.
Shipley goes into double figures with 11 so far in the half.
Fulton sets up the offense. London to Perryman. Back over to Fulton. Fulton looks low. Gets it over to Grace. Grace quickly to Perryman. Walker steps out. Back over to Grace. High ball screen. Grace drives. Up. No good. Rebound.
Just doesn't get the bounce. Hit the back of the rim and came right back out.
So the Shamrocks with under 30 seconds left to play in the second. Shipley over to Bunting. Bunting looks for the opportunity. Doesn't see it. Gets it out to DeCrane. Back to Shipley. Looks baseline. Doesn't see it. Gets it to Eldridge. Quickly over to Rops. Shipley with 5 seconds left. Shipley to DeCrane. DeCrane up.
Does she get it? No, she misses. So at the end of 16 minutes of the first half, 29-23 in favor of the Shamrocks over the Tigers. We'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA girls basketball here on Hamilton County Television from Westfield High School between the Westfield Shamrocks and the Fishers Tigers. Our presentation tonight is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. Our other great sponsors include Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, Hamilton County Television Calendars, the Westfield Chamber of Commerce, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. We'll be back with some halftime activities in the second half after these words from our sponsors on Hamilton County Television.
When medical care is needed, where will you turn? With Community's Connect to Care program, one call or click finds you the closest open appointment. Request a time yourself or let us do it. From a primary care doctor or virtual visit to a med check or community clinic at Walgreens. Just call or click. You can go right to our website or to me. Connect to Care from Community.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for Logan Street Signs and Banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street. This is South 10th.
We moved 22 years ago.
Well, how come you didn't change the name?
That would have just confused people.
Well, actually, South 10th is Allisonville.
If you're from Fishers,
Well, before that it was 37A, and before that it was State Road 37.
So you're telling me that Logan Street Signs and Banners isn't on Logan Street anymore? It's actually on South 10th. That's Allisonville and Fishers. And before that, it was 37A and 37?
So you got that straight?
Logan Street Signs and Banners conveniently not located on Logan Street, but rather South 10th Street in Noblesville.
Exactly.
The IHSAA, in partnership with Blue Frame Technology, is pleased to announce that you can now watch your favorite IHSAA sports on the all-new IHSAA TV Apple TV app. Watch live or search through thousands of archived broadcasts. Have an older Apple TV? You can still watch on your TV by going to AirPlay on your iOS device and choosing Apple TV. Download the new Apple TV app now in the Apple TV App Store.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake. Yeah.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got a counter right here. Isn't this where you place the orders?
We sell trophies, we sell plaques, we do embroidery. No food.
You got carry out?
Unlike the internet, everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
You know, Jim, I'll be back tomorrow to pick it all up.
We'll wait for you.
Don't wait long.
Welcome back to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Girls Basketball from Westfield High School in Westfield, Indiana. It's the Shamrocks entertaining the Fishers Tigers. Tonight's game is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in the business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors, Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, the Hamilton County Calendars, the Westfield Chamber of Commerce, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. I'm Brad Silbert along with Jack Russell and Victor McCarty. Guys, it's been an interesting first half to say the least. It looked like the Shamrocks were going to kind of take it to the Tigers earlier, but the Tigers seem to be coming back and close it to a 6-point gap.
Absolutely. And to start things off, Tony Grace, we thought, was going to really rule the roost, so to speak, but she ended up sitting the bench up until the last few minutes of the second quarter. So maybe the Fisher Tigers are just wanting to save her energy for this second half. That could very well be, as she is the leading scorer for the Fisher Tigers with 15 points per game. But her understudies, so to speak, have been doing well also. Kennedy London and Tamia Perriman, they've really stepped their game up. But you can't look any further than the Shamrocks defense so far tonight. Annabelle O'Hare, Shipley, Bunting, they've been really good at holding their ground, keeping their hands up, and stopping the offensive plays. And then on the other side of the court, they've been doing just as well, whether it be hitting behind the arc for the three-point or driving up towards the middle, as well as drawing out the fouls. Both teams had 8 fouls in that first half, and that's right on par with what they're averaging for the year. Jack, your thoughts on the first half?
I thought Westfield little by little was pulling away, but we looked again at the turnover battle. And, when Westfield got ahead, it was because Fishers was making turnover plays. And then all of a sudden, Westfield puts a couple turnovers, Fishers fires some 3-point plays, and it's only a 6-point ball game, kind of what the IHSAA took a look at and said that it was about a 6-point game, so it should be a fun second half.
Yeah, I think the Tigers have really had to earn every point that they've gotten tonight. Nothing seems to be coming easy for them, but I've got to give the Shamrocks a lot of just a big pat on the back, because they've done a good job of ball handling both offensively and defensively, and they have gotten some nice, clear, makeable, open shots. And when they haven't had the open shots, they've fallen back, they've regrouped, and they've been patient, and they've been able to get the makeable shot, whereas the Tigers, a lot of their shots have come from, just off balance and not what you would call the best of shots, whereas the Tigers have basically, or rather the Shamrocks, have really made a lot more high percentage shots.
And I think that's where you see the difference between a full court offense, where high energy, high level of the Fishers Tigers, versus a half court offense of the Westfield Shamrocks.
We're ready for the second half. Jack, take it away.
Perryman with the ball, looks over to London. London over to Gurka. Quickly down to Grace. Grace drives baseline, doesn't see it. Gets it back over to Gurka. Sets up the offense. Quickly passing it around. London's got the opportunity. No good. Rebound by O'Hare.
That was probably one of the most open shots that London's had all night, and she just couldn't get it to go.
Winiger looks for the option. Gets it over to Shipley. Shipley drives. Doesn't see it. Gets it back over to Winiger. Winiger to Romps in the corner. Down low. Kicks it back out to DeCrane. Not going to drive. No. Foul.
That was going to go on Stulkin.
Solid defense by the Tigers, and they almost were able to prevent that shot, but you have to be wary of where you put your hands. I mentioned keep your hands up, but you got to make sure you don't hit the other player, because that's right there's a foul.
Allie Gurka picks her first foul of the night for the Tigers.
Shipley looks for the running the offense. Down low to Rops. Over to DeCrane. Looks, picks up her dribble, gets it to Shipley. Shipley for three. No good. Rebound by O'Hare. tipped.
Nice offensive rebound there, and the Rocks get it back again and get the easy shot.
That play right there was all about teamwork by the Shamrocks. They did not just give up on the play and march down the other side of the court. 3 players stayed for that rebound, and that's what's going to take to win this game.
Gurka looks, gets it over to Grace, quickly over to Perryman. Back over. Grace high ball, screen, looks, fires it, no good.
Out of bounds off the hands of Annabelle O'Hare. Tigers will keep the ball, reset the offense.
When Grace gets in a position like that, she has to be aware of where her teammates are out in the court.
Stolken over to Grace. High ball screen. Grace up and one.
Looking like deja vu. Same exact play, but this time able to thread the needle.
Grace will go for the 3-point play.
Annabelle O'Hare picks up her second foul.
Shots up and good.
Grace picks up point number 14 early here in the second half.
Winiger sets up the offense. High ball screen. Kicks it over to Shipley. Shipley looking for the opportunity. Gets it back to Winiger. Winiger looks. Drives, pump fakes.
Travel.
Call travel.
It's interesting to watch the little cat and mouse game going on between Jade Shipley and Tony Grace. They're kind of mutually guarding each other most of the game, and it's kind of interesting to watch the two going back and forth.
Down low to Stolken. Back over to Grace for 3. It's good. That makes it a 2-point ball game with 5:30 left to play in the third.
From an 8-point lead to a 2-point lead on 2 shots.
Shipley looking for the opportunity. High ball screen. Kicks it over to DeCrane. DeCrane quickly over to Winiger. Winiger kicks it over to Rapes. Down to Shipley. Shipley looking for the opportunity. Drives baseline. They're going to call a foul on London.
And I think right there, that's where Shipley has the advantage. You don't say too often where when you're shorter than your opponent, height is an advantage. But when you're at elbow, arm level, then you're able to get a foul called pretty easily.
You know, well, Shipley is so quick out there. She's very, very fast.
Shipley up and good.
Point number 12 for Jade Shipley tonight.
Second one up and good. 5 minutes left to play in the third.
She's 5 for 7 so far from the free throw line tonight.
Grace over to Stolken.
I've got her for 13 points.
Grace down low to Stolken. Stolken up. No good. Quickly come the Shamrocks. O'Hare.
Those are the kind of plays that give coaches gray hairs. An easy layup and can't execute.
Quickly over to the far side. High ball screen. Kicks it out to Shipley. Shipley over to Winiger. Winiger looks. Trying to get it to O'Hare. Turnover.
Grace with the steal.
Grace drives.
She'll take it end to end and make it.
The Shamrocks are trying to be too fancy on their offensive possession. They just have to be able to move the ball closer to be able to get that score.
4 minutes in the third. O'Hare looks, drives. Foul on Perryman, and she'll shoot 2.
Perryman was double teamed and drew the foul. That's going to go against Perryman.
O'Hare at the line. First one up, no good.
one of the differences so far in this half is what the Tigers have been doing in this half defensively is they've been able to keep the Shamrocks from getting closer to the basket, where in the first half they were almost walking in and shooting at will.
Absolutely. Defending the perimeter has been a great job by the Tigers so far here in this second half. And we'll see if they're able to continue to do that so the Rocks cannot get up the middle.
Quickly over to Grace. Grace over to Perryman. Perryman and Tolbert. Tolbert over to Grace. Grace drives. No good. Fishers keeps the ball. Over to McGee for three. No good.
Tigers had two nice offensive rebounds on that particular drive down the court, but could not cash in on it. Still down by 3 with 3:25 left in the third.
Shipley with the ball. Quickly over to Craig. Craig looks for the option. Drives. Kicks it out to Henson. Henson quickly to DeCrane for a long three. No good. Foul on Craig.
Tigers got a break on that because Sophia Craig picked up her second foul. And had she not picked up that foul, that ball went off of Tony Grace, and it would have been a turnover against the Tigers, and the Shamrocks would have had the ball down under the basket.
Tigers with the ball, under 3 to play in the third. McGee, one possession game. Over to Perryman. High ball screen by Tolbert. Perryman kicks it back out to McGee. McGee sets up the offense. Down low to Tolbert. Kicks it back out to McGee. Drives up, and it's good.
Nice move by Bree McGee to pick up her first 2 points of the game.
1 point game. Shamrocks with the ball. DeCrane looks to Henson. Quickly a turnover for the Fishers Tigers. 1 point game. This to take the lead. Down to Tolbert. Tolbert picks up her dribble, gets it over to McGee. High ball screen. McGee over to Perryman. Perryman drives up. No good. Ball down, Perryman up and good.
One might say an NBA jam. The Tigers are on fire now as they are able to keep the momentum on their side. Defense has been, excuse my pun, rock solid for the Tigers.
Timeout, Coach Smith with 1:38 left to play in the third.
35-34 in favor of the Fishers Tigers right now. And let's remind you that Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. If you have any questions, contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check out their website, www.ecommunity.com. So this third quarter has been a rather interesting quarter here, guys. We started the quarter 29-23 with the Shamrocks ahead, and the Tigers have come back, and they have scored 12 points in this quarter to the 5 that the Shamrocks have scored.
Well, I think a lot of it right now is the tempo. They're playing the Fishers Tigers tempo, which is fast and quick, and so compared to a Westfield team where I think half-court offense is kind of what they try to do.
The other thing the Tigers have done is they have not made the turnovers like they had early in the first half.
Craig with the ball, drives baseline, fires, it's good.
That was a great behind-the-basket shot, be able to make her mark right in the corner.
Fulton with the ball, looks, gets it to London, quickly over to McGee. McGee looks low, doesn't see it, gets it to Tolbert. Quickly back over to London. London kicks it to McGee in the corner. Sets up the offense. Down low to Tolbert. Tolbert gets it to Grace for 3. It's good.
And that was just miscommunication by the Shamrocks. Shamrocks defenders losing their men and not be able to find where Tony Grace is at. That was a great screen by the Tigers.
Grace with 22 points already in this game.
Turnover by the Shamrocks.
She scored 10 points in this half. Correction, 8 points. I'm sorry, 9.
Grace looks, gets it to Fulton. Over to London. London looks for 2. It's
Gets
good.
a roll.
She sees her teammate fall down. She intended to basket her, so she just says, well, I'll just go ahead and step right up and make that pass myself right to the basket.
Quickly over to Craig. Craig high ball screen by Henson. Craig kicks it out to DeCrane. Over to Henson. 5 seconds left in the third. Henson up. No good. McGee.
Tigers can't get the shot off at the end of 3. Tigers 40 and the Westfield Shamrocks 36. Fans, Smith's Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one were to ask how and why, well, the answer certainly would be their outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith's Jewelers is eager to give their customers a memorable, positive experience. Contact them at 317-773-3383 or visit them online, www.smithsonthesquare.com. We kind of got a seesaw battle going back and forth here, guys. The early advantage was to the Shamrocks. Now the Tigers have come back here in the second half to take a 4-point lead.
Well, I look at that, and I really see the reason why it's been a seesaw battle is because of the coaching from both squads tonight. Fishers, we've been mentioning it throughout the night. Tony Grace, she was put on the bench for majority of the first half, coming in just for the last couple of minutes, keep herself warmed up. And I think that's been a great move by the Tigers thus far, because she is now ready and rearing to go here in this second half, and her point total definitely shows that.
Well, she had 11 points in the first half, and she's already got 11 here in the second half, just in one quarter.
Shipley inbound the ball. Looks, gets it to Bunting. Bunting drives baseline. No good.
Hit the backboard on that one.
London brings the ball up the floor. London over to Perryman. Quickly stolen by Shipley. Looks, fires it up. No good. Henson with the rebound. Quickly, it's going to be tipped by London.
Great effort by Kennedy London to tip that ball, and she couldn't quite get to it going out of bounds, so the Shamrocks will have the ball down on their end.
And also a great rebound by Ava Henson for the Shamrocks. There were 3 gray jerseys right there under the basket, ready and raring to go for that rebound.
Winiger sets up the offense. High ball screen. Craig with the ball. Drives up. No good. Rebound by the Tigers. Grace quickly over to Perryman. Down to Gurka. Down low to Tolbert. Tolbert up. No good.
Did she miss on that, or was that tipped? I couldn't tell.
I think she missed it. Ball on the floor. Down to Henson. Henson up. Fouled.
Henson's going to go to the line and shoot 2. We'll have to see who that's on. It's on number 24. There is no 24 on the Tigers.
I'm going to guess number 25, London.
Kennedy London. That's her third. That could be big.
See, that's good coaching. Just say number 24.
Her fourth, yeah.
Henson makes the first.
She's a 67% free throw shooter on the year thus far.
Second back in for Fishers, number 3, McGee.
Henson to the line to shoot the second. Second one's up, and it's good.
Just got the little bounce there off the rim, but had enough on it to get it over.
Perryman over to Grace, quickly over to Gurka. To McGee. Back over to Grace. Grace back to Perryman. McGee looks, fires it back out to Perryman, sets up the offense. Walker high ball screen, it's a travel.
First travel we've seen since the first quarter. Tigers really have to keep their heads in the game now to not allow the Shamrocks to come right back into it. They're only down by 2.
Well, both of the teams in the second half really have reduced turnovers, and it's been a much cleaner half.
Winiger sets up the offense. Looks. Drives baseline. Fires it up. No good. Quickly come the Tigers. Out to Grace. Grace for three. It's good.
Wow. What a shot by Tony Grace to pick up her 25th point of the night.
You can't have gotten any better defense than that. That's just Grace having the will to win.
DeCrane up and fouled.
Have to see who that's going to go against. I don't know if it's going to go against Walker or London. We'll have to see here. Ellie Gurka picks it up. That's her second. Fifth team foul of the half now for the Tigers.
First one's up and good.
These free throws are going to be oh so pivotal for the Shamrocks to get back into this game. As we see each time the Shamrocks have the ball, there are at least 3 jerseys there on the inside to make sure the Shamrocks cannot get into the basket.
DeCrane's second shot. Up and good.
Nothing but net.
Grace brings the ball up the floor.
All 3 of DeCrane's points tonight have come on free throws.
Over to Fulton. Fulton over to Gurka. Down to McGee. Walker with the ball over to Fulton. High ball screen. Looks down to Walker. Turnover. 3-point ball game.
That's exactly what the Tigers were doing early in the first half, turning the ball over, and they've had a couple bad turnovers here so far in this to this point in the fourth quarter.
Winiger looks out to DeCrane. Looks baseline, not there. High ball screen. Gets it out to Henson. Quickly over to Winiger. Winiger looks, kicks it back out. Quickly over to Shipley for three. It's good.
And that is what's going to happen if the Tigers, they're moving towards that zone defense, which means they're going to leave someone open. Shipley able to get that three and put the Shamrocks right back into the game. Tie ball game now.
5:15 left to play in the fourth. Gurka with the ball. Sets up the offense. Gets it down to Walker. Walker looks, drives. No good. Rebound by Shipley. Quickly down the floor come the Shamrocks. To DeCrane. Back to Shipley for three. She can shoot it. No good. Tie ball game. McGee looks, gets it over to Gurka. Back to Grace. Grace looking for the isolation over to Walker. Up and good.
What a move by Tony Grace. She just throws it toward the basket and it goes in for point number 27.
Winiger sets up the offense. Over to Shipley. Shipley drives baseline. Can be a foul on Gurka, number 20.
Just kind of got that foot out there.
It's her third, team 6.
6th team foul, but number 3 on Ellie Gurka. Only big-time foul trouble for the Tigers so far is Kennedy London. She's playing with 4. No foul trouble for the Shamrocks.
Winiger gets it inbound. Up. Can be a foul in play.
She's going to shoot a pair. Looks like that's going to go on Casey Walker. That is the 7th team foul.
First one's up, no good.
We see a head coach for the Shamrocks, Jenny Smith, talking to her girls, making sure they're in the right state of mind. They can stay in this game.
Second one's up, no good.
So Megan Ropp, she misses both of the free throw opportunities.
Grace gets it over to London. London looks. Quickly over to McGee. Back over to Grace. Down to Walker. London looks for the opportunity. Turnover by the Tigers.
Once again, that high lob pass.
Winiger up, it's good.
He just took that one end to end and scored the bucket and ties this game up at 45 apiece. Say fans, no job is too small or too big for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing a water, fire, or storm, or maybe even mold remediation, or if you're just a homeowner or simply needs a good carpet cleaning, Indiana Restoration has you covered. Contact them at 317-776-9942. Visit them online, indianarestoration.com. Got more basketball coming up later this weekend and next week here on Hamilton County Television. Jack, what have we got coming up?
Looks like on Tuesday we've got a girls game, Noblesville at Carmel. Should be a good one. And then a Friday, girls basketball, Carmel at Hamilton Southeastern. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, that's going to be an early matchup between number 1 Carmel and number 4 Hamilton Southeastern. And boy, the day after Thanksgiving, instead of going shopping on Black Friday, you ought to stop by the Royal Den for that game. That promises to be a great basketball game next week on Friday afternoon. That is an afternoon game at Varsity game scheduled to start at 2:30. You can't come out to Hamilton Southeastern, tune in to Hamilton County Television. We'll have the game for you here on Hamilton County Television. 3:44 left. We're knotted up at 45 apiece here in Westfield.
Fishers to inbound. I think after the timeout, they couldn't remember who had the ball. London brings the ball up the floor. Looks, gets it to McGee. Quickly over to Perryman, back to Grace. Grace drives baseline.
Ooh, almost an illegal dribble there.
That was close.
Right up over her shoulders.
Grace with a foul.
That's going to go against the Tigers.
That's going to be a 1-and-1, I think.
Should be. 8th team foul. So Grace picks up her first foul of the game. But more importantly, being team foul number 8, that's going to put the Shamrocks at the line for the rest of the game. And that's Annabelle O'Hare at the line. She's a 63% free throw shooter. 3 for 4 from the line tonight, now 4 for 5.
Well, this is going to be heading down the stretch. It's going to be a key part of the game is the free throws.
O'Hare gets her 6th point of the night. Number 7 is good.
Especially with the Shamrocks, they only have 2 fouls here in this second half. That's going to be great in their advantage in the free throw game.
Perryman with the ball over to McGee. Looks, kicks it back out to Perryman. Looking for the option.
Went right between 2 Shamrocks trying to get it to Kennedy London. The ball ends up going out of bounds back over to the Shamrocks. Another Tiger turnover.
Winiger brings the ball up the floor. High ball screen. Looks, kicks it out to DeCrane. DeCrane over to Winiger. Winiger drives baseline. Fouled. Travel.
Yep. I think that was a good call. She was trying to draw the foul between a couple of Tiger defenders and just managed to take the extra step there.
2:50 left to play in the fourth. Over to London, down low to Grace. Grace picks up her dribble. And that's going to be a turnover.
Yep, backcourt violation.
With the Tigers continuously making their turnovers right now, the Shamrocks, they have to know where they are now. They're 2 points ahead, 47-45. They can't be driving towards the basket. Just be comfortable with where you're at. Not too comfortable where you turn off the ball, but still play that outside and run the clock down.
Winiger to inbound. Looks, kicks it out. Oh, gets it down to DeCrane. It's going to be possession arrow to the Fishers Tigers.
Good job of defense there with the Tigers. They double-teamed her, and she had no place to go. The Tigers got the jump ball in the possession.
Grace brings the ball down the floor. 2:30 left to play in the fourth. McGee over to Perryman, quickly down to London. Looks, kicks it to almost same thing that happened last time. Perryman traveled.
She traveled. I don't know if she lost her balance or slipped, but it was one or the other there. I'm sure if there had been a wet spot on the floor, we would have seen him out there cleaning that up because it looked like she might have slipped a little.
Winiger to O'Hare. Shipley looks. Quickly fires it for three. No good. Grace quickly rebounds the ball. Quickly down the floor to Perryman. Over to London. Bobbles it a little bit, but then gets it to McGee. McGee drives, fires. No good.
They're going to say that was before the shot.
When the Rocks have the possession of the ball, as I just mentioned, they have to be aware of where they are. We have 1:45 left to play, ahead by 2. You can't be trying to drive it up the middle or trying to shoot the 3. Just, again, be aware of where the defenders are on the court and just make sure you move the ball around.
Grace looks up and good.
Nice move by Tony Grace to split the defenders. Pick up point number 29. What a performance by Grace.
For 3.
That one goes off the backboard. That'll be a Tiger ball.
I think you play that. I think that shot's something you play in like horse or pig, right? Well, with 128, this is a big possession here for the Fishers Tigers. Grace brings the ball to the floor. Looks. Stolken with the ball. Grace for 3. Got it.
And that's where the Shamrocks, they were mismatched on defense. Shipley was nowhere around Grace, and she has got to make sure, as one of these leaders on the team, to know where her main opponent is.
O'Hare misses it. Grace rebounds the ball. Quickly over to McGee. With under a minute left. They got fouls to give.
And the Tigers now are going to do what the Shamrocks should have been doing for the past 2 minutes of just passing the ball around and letting the clock run out.
Timeout by the Fishers Tigers.
That one's going to go on Ashton DeCrane. That'll be the 4th team foul. Fans, while we've got a timeout, let's remind you, Bill Clifford is currently a sheriff, or a sergeant, with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. He's committed his life to serving the community with integrity. As a resident of Westfield with his wife Cheryl and 3 kids, family safety is Clifford's top priority. He understands the Sheriff's Office must be proactive against new threats in order to best protect you. For more information, follow the campaign on Facebook at Clifford for Sheriff. And remember to vote for Bill Clifford for Hamilton County Sheriff on May 8th, 2018. The website for Bill Clifford is www.cliffordforsheriff.com. We're under a minute. We got a 3-point advantage here for the Tigers over the Shamrocks, and we're going to go down to the buzzer on this one, Jack.
Absolutely. 56 seconds left in the 4th. 3-point ball game. Coming out of the timeout.
What a performance by Tony Grace tonight. 32 points.
Wow.
That's probably got to be a career high for her.
I would imagine.
And this is the first game for the Shamrocks thus far this year where either teams have gone to that 50-point marker.
Grace with the ball. She'll get a foul. 52 seconds left in the 4th.
Now, I don't understand why the Shamrocks are fouling in this case so far out. I would think that they would be waiting until that ball gets in toward the basket to foul and, not waste it out there because, they just picked up their 6th team foul. And Carly Weininger, she picked up her 4th.
And I'm pretty certain that Grace is a pretty good free throw shooter. So,
yeah, Grace is a 71% free throw shooter. That's going to be a 1-and-1. Ryan Bunting picks up her 2nd, number 7 now. And so the Tigers with an opportunity to pad this lead a little bit with the clock stopped.
First shot is good.
Tony Grace just walks up there with so much confidence.
Grace's 2nd shot. Up And good.
Like you guys, I don't know why the Shamrocks did not let the Tigers try to pass the ball around a little bit due to the amount of turnovers they've had in this game.
Shipley up, fouled.
Oh, boy. That one's going to go against, I believe, Lydia Sulkin.
42 seconds.
9th team foul of the half. That's going to be a shooting foul, so she'll have 2.
First one's up and good.
Shipley is an 80% free throw shooter. I've got her with 17 points on the evening. You know what's weird about this game is 17 now, 18 points for Jade Shipley. That's a pretty good performance, but Tony Grace has just kind of outshined her so far tonight. And Grace is going to go back to the line again.
Well, 40 seconds left. Down by 3.
Bunting picks up her 3rd, 8th team foul of the half. Tigers still in the 1-1 with Tony Grace. She is 6 out of 9 from the free throw line so far tonight.
Grace to shoot the 1-1.
Shamrock certainly hoping she'll miss the front end of this.
It's been all her night.
Boy, it has. That's 35 points for her now. Last 3 have come from the free throw line.
Grace's second shot. Up and no good.
That's just the break the Shamrocks might need. They got to make sure they take advantage of this.
Craig up, block and 1.
Sophia Craig with points number 5 and 6. The opportunity for point number 7. Be her first free throw of the night. She's a 50% free throw shooter.
And that's kind of how this game feels, 50-50.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tamia Perriman picks up her second. 10 fouls on the Tigers now. And we're going to take a timeout for the Fishers Tigers. And Jack, with all this excitement going on, I know here in Westfield there's a lot of other exciting things going on. What do we got going on over there at the Chamber this week?
The Westfield Chamber of Commerce serving Westfield community for 36 years. Just recently.
They've been around longer than you.
Yes, by about 9 years.
Wow.
Over 400 members are part of the Westfield Chamber of Commerce. Westfield Chamber of Commerce is located at 116 East Main Street, right there on 32. You can see them online, www.westfield-chamber.org.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
2017 has been a banner year for the city of Westfield.
Absolutely.
What do you think the number one thing for this year is?
Number one thing? Well, probably the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep, I would agree. I would totally agree.
Craig's shot, no good. Up, rebound, no. Rebound by the Tigers. Quickly to Grace. Down the floor to London.
Overthrown.
The Shamrocks definitely got lucky on that play. They tried their best to get that rebound off of that missed free throw. Missed break by the Tigers. They could have put this game away.
Well, the mistake the Tigers made is they needed to slow things down, and they just didn't.
Shipley over to Bunting. Bunting drives. No good. Rebound by London. Quickly to Walker. And fouled. 11 seconds.
Tigers still in the 1-1. Ryan Bunting picks up her 4th. That's going to put Casey Walker at the line. Well, they fouled the right person. If Westfield was going to foul somebody, Walker is a 25% free throw shooter. She's 2 for 8 from the line.
Walker's shot up. No good. 10 seconds left.
Shamrocks call timeout.
Woo. No one said this wasn't going to be fun.
Coming right down to the wire.
Hey, guys, you know who's celebrating 25 years in business this year? Take a guess. Who do you think it might be?
Logan Street Signs and Banners.
You are a smart man, Jack Russell. I'll tell you. You're right. Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in last-minute signage and banners. Serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them at 317-773-7200. Visit their brand-new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And regardless of where you're watching this game tonight, you've seen one whale of a game here, and we appreciate you joining us here on Hamilton County Television. Like to thank our technical staff. Katie's at the controls tonight, Bill on the camera, Jack to my immediate left, Victor over there on the other side of Jack, and it has been everything that we thought this game would be. All the prognosticators are saying a 4 to 6 point game, and it's 2 points here with 8.6 left.
Well, it's going to be interesting what they call out of the timeout. Do you tie the ball game up, or do you go for the win? That was rhetorical.
Well, I think the most important thing for the Shamrocks now is to get a field goal on the board.
Shipley looks.
Shipley. She traveled.
Nothing. Up. Good.
That's going to tie the game
up.
up.
Overtime.
Wow.
Who got that last shot?
That last shot, I want to say it was Winiger.
Winiger with the last shot ties it up at 53 to 53. I thought there was a travel on that, but that's close. We're going to overtime.
That's just the positioning of where the refs are. Shamrocks able to use their fly the feet, able to get the rebound and the tie game. That was all Shipley right there, of able to maneuver it between the defenders, and thankfully that was Winiger able to get it.
Well, the whole difference in that thing came down to, guys, was the speed of Jade Shipley to be able to get that ball basically from half court down under the basket. And, conventional wisdom is Shipley's averaging 9.0 per game. She's, the leading scorer on this team, so you want to have it in her hands. But she did her job and got it under the basket and managed to get it to Weininger, who had a nice open shot and tied this game up. So we are going to overtime. And before we go there, let me remind you that Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. Follow on Facebook and Twitter. One-word answer from each of you. Who's got the advantage going into overtime?
I'm going to have to go with Shamrocks.
Jack?
I'm going to say Grace.
Is she going to be the saving grace tonight?
We have done a lot of puns tonight, guys.
But I say Shamrocks because the Tigers, as a team, they have to keep their head in it and make sure they're not committing the turnovers and fouls that they have the past two halves.
Perryman with the ball over to London. Quickly to McGee. McGee looks, kicks it out to Walker. Walker over to London. London over to McGee. Sets up the offense.
Tigers being very patient on this trip down.
Walker looks, gets over to McGee. For three, they're going to count as a two, but no good. Quickly down the floor come the Shamrocks.
Took 30 seconds to put that shot up. Good patience by the Tigers, but it didn't fall for them.
High ball screen. Looks to Craig. Craig over to Shipley. Shipley back to Craig. Craig for three. No good. Rebound by the Tigers.
And that's what the Shamrocks, they cannot just go for the basket when you have no defenders around to get that rebound.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing on that play is the Shamrocks, when that ball went up, there were 3 Tigers under the net and no Shamrocks there for a rebound.
Perryman with the ball over to Grace. Shipley saves it to Bunting. Over to DeCrane. DeCrane drives. Block. Shooting 2.
I think I'm going to change my one-word answer to Shipley.
Mia Perriman picks up her third of the night. Already 10 fouls, so regardless of whether it's shooting or not, it's going to be a 2-shot foul.
The Cranes' first shot, no good.
Foul shots are going to be so critical in this overtime.
And the Crane, she's a 50% shooter on the year at the free throw line.
The Cranes' second shot up and good. 2:41 left to play in overtime. Shamrocks lead by 1. Walker with the ball, gets it to London.
The Crane hasn't scored a lot tonight, but she's done a great job setting things up for the Shamrocks.
Perryman with the ball, gets it over. No, she keeps it herself. Drives, foul.
Well, it comes down to you don't have to always score the most points if you're an individual player. You have to make your role, whether it be doing the rebounds or steals, blocks, whatever you want to be. You got to just make sure you know your role and you play to it.
Free throw for Perryman.
First time to the line tonight for her.
Up, no good.
Perryman's a 37% free throw shooter, 7 for 19, now 7 for 20 on the season.
Important second free throw here. Perryman up, no good on the second. Rebound by Walker.
That's blocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Tigers.
Stays with the Tigers.
Tigers got a break on that one.
Walker averages 4 rebounds per game.
Perryman over to Grace. Grace looks, drives, no foul. Walker up and good.
Sometimes you have to use the backboard as your best friend to make that pass completion.
Casey Walker picks up her first 2 points of the game.
Craig with the ball, looks, high ball screen, doesn't take it. Back up, it's good by Craig.
Nice move there by Craig. She just kind of moved around the defender and managed to get the shot off, and what looked like it would be a very difficult shot turned into an easy shot for her.
Under 2 to play in overtime. Grace looks, gets it to London.
London almost lost that ball out of bounds.
Over to Perryman, back over to Walker. Walker quickly to London. London drives, no good. Rebound by the Shamrocks.
Bunting with a nice rebound there.
Trying to call a foul on Grace.
Tony Grace picks up her second foul of the night. Once again, 2 shots regardless here for the rest of this game. Shipley goes to the line shooting 80% from the free throw line.
Shipley's first shot is up and good.
Shipley gets point number 19 on the night. And we're going to have a timeout called here by the Fishers Tigers. Jack, this is just the opposite of what we saw the other night. This has been one heck of a game, and just so glad that you were able to join us for this game tonight. Those of you who were here in person for this game tonight got a real treat seeing an excellent ball game. But those of you at home watching us at home, we appreciate you joining us tonight here on Hamilton County Television. I'm Brad Silbert along with Jack Russell, Victor McCarty. We are in overtime. 1:31 remaining in, should I jinx it? Should I say the first overtime?
Well, I'll tell you what, I definitely feel like the magic is in the air, the holiday spirit, and I think that's due to because tomorrow here at Westfield High School, the band club, they are having their annual craft show, and that is always a great event here for the high school.
Well, it's getting to be that time of the year, and what's that old song that they start playing this year? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
We can't start talking about Christmas till after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we got a few more days to go, don't we?
Let the floodgates open on Black Friday.
I haven't seen too many lights out yet, but
Shipley.
I'm sure there will be.
Second shot is up. Good.
So Shipley has 20 points for the game. Tony Grace, who was so hot the second half, he has yet to score here in the overtime.
Gurka with the ball. Looks, gets it to London. London over to Grace. Grace, foul. And she'll be shooting 2.
I think that's going to go on Carly Winninger. That's her. If that's on her, that's 5 on her. I think Winninger thought she was going to pick up a charge there, and she didn't.
I feel like at this point in the game, it could have easily gone either way.
Yeah.
Back into the Lady Rocks. Number 10, Megan Rocks.
1:16 left to play in overtime. 3-point ball game.
Tony Grace will have 2 shots.
First one's up. And good.
She did miss her last one, but makes this one. 36, Miss Grace tonight. Wow.
36 for Grace, which means the rest of the team has 20.
Yeah, what a performance.
Grace's second shot is up. And good.
Ooh, got the roll.
1-point ball game.
This is where the Shamrocks can't be too hasty with their possession of the ball. They have to know where they're at. There's a minute to go now.
Foul on Grace. And Shipley, the person you probably don't want shooting the free throws, is going to be shooting
that was a mistake on Grace's part. She was very, very tightly guarding Jade Shipley, and she picked up the foul there. Let's talk a little bit more about that Westfield Chamber of Commerce and what's going on while we get some time here, Jack.
Absolutely. Westfield Chamber of Commerce now located at 116 East Main Street, downtown Westfield. Westfield Chamber of Commerce getting ready over the next couple of weeks to have a new website. Still going to be the same name, www.westfield-chamber.org. Check out all the latest events. Now, of course, in January, we've got the State of the City with Mayor Andy Cook, so should be an interesting heading into 2018.
The Chamber Luncheon's always a great time, usually there in attendance. This past week had the Chamber Lunch. That was a great kind of forum between Noblesville and Westfield, the 2 schools coming together and speaking what they can do just in terms of student engagement with the local community.
Well, it's just amazing, not only talking about Westfield, but talking about Hamilton County in general. I've lived here 28 years, and the community has just grown and blossomed. Everything in Hamilton County has. It's a tremendous place to live, tremendous place to raise a family. My children grew up here, and I'm real proud of the fact that, I've been a Hamilton County resident as long as I have. 108, 58-57 in favor of the Shamrocks. Both teams in the double bonus. Jade Shipley going back to the line.
Shipley does the same routine, and that's something that you teach, especially at a young age. Same routine when you shoot a free throw. First one's good.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. And her game is anything but broken tonight.
Shipley's second one. Up. And good. 3-point ball game.
She's 11 for 13 from the line. She missed her first and third free throw, but has made everything since.
Perryman with the ball. High ball screen. Perryman up. No good. Perryman fouled on the play.
Who's this one going to go against?
Number 5, Shipley. Two important free throws here.
We're in the 35th minute of this game, and these two teams are still going at each other strong.
Perryman, no good.
Perryman only shoots 37% from the line, 0 for 3 so far tonight.
Perryman's second one up. And good. Got to guard Shipley. Going to stay Shamrock's ball. They're going to stay all over Shipley.
2-point difference with 54 seconds on the clock. Rock's trying to protect a 2-point lead.
Shamrocks now just have to be aware of how much time is left on the clock and make sure they just run it down, pass the ball, and put this game away. 40 seconds.
Did you notice they didn't foul until it went out of Shipley's hands?
That was smart, very smart. On the flip side, maybe you keep the ball.
Megan Rops has had 2 free throws so far tonight, has missed both of them.
And she hasn't made one yet this year.
If I was Jenny Smith, I would have been saying to Jade Shipley, just keep the ball.
Yep.
Let them foul you.
Rops' first shot is good. She heard you guys from up here.
Absolutely. No better time than now to get your team over 60 points.
3-point game. Rops' second free throw. No good. Rebound by the Shamrocks. Foul.
That one's going to go on Brianna McGee.
And with the ball back in Craig's possession, she's a 50% free throw shooter. Head coach Jenny Smith wanting to talk to her girls while Craig's at the line.
Craig, 50% free throw shooter.
0 for 1 tonight so far from the line.
First one's good.
Now 1 for 2.
Gurka into the ball game, along with Fulton.
Newman and McGee coming out for the Fishers Tigers.
Looking for some 3-point shooters. Up and good.
That couldn't have taken any more bounces. 3 to get that shot.
30 seconds. London drives, no good. Foul again with 27 seconds left.
That's going to send Ashton DeCrane to the line.
50% free throw shooter. She is 1 of 2 in the second half.
DeCrane. 2 shots.
4 points so far tonight, all 4 of them on foul shots. There's number 5. Six-point lead for the Shamrocks. 27 seconds left to go.
Second one's up and good. 27 seconds left. Perryman drives. Foul.
Ooh.
Bunting coming in looking like Larry Bird, trying to block that shot.
Well, when you got
Bunting
the number.
came in and she's going right out, picking up her 5th foul. Mia Perriman back to the line. She's 1 for 4 so far tonight.
But I think this kind of works in the advantage of the Shamrocks. When you have 20 seconds left on the clock, you just got to make sure if 22 misses at all, get that rebound. And then if she makes both, just hold on to possession, make sure you move the ball, get into the hands of Shipley for sure, so that way it forces the Tigers to foul her.
A 7-point lead is a 3-possession game, and at this point that looks very ominous for the Tigers.
Shooting one more.
Still, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah. I remember Reggie Miller many, many years ago against the Knicks.
Absolutely.
Just put a couple points in a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Perryman up and good. DeCrane.
Westfield fans want the intentional foul.
Perryman getting a little rough.
They are going to give her the intentional foul. Or are they? No, they didn't. I'm sorry. The Perriman picks up foul number 4. Ashton DeCrane will have 2 more shots at the line.
DeCrane, first shot. Is up and good. Crane's second shot.
All of her points tonight have come from the line.
Grace quickly down the floor. Kicks over to Gurka. Gurka back to Grace. Not looking for a 3.
Tigers really have to get that ball out.
Fulton, no good. The 2.4 to jump ball to the Shamrocks.
Tigers just took too much time off the clock. They were trying to make something out of nothing in the corner pockets when I think at the top of the arch might have been the most open.
And that's the ball game.
Final score of this game tonight from Westfield. The Westfield Shamrocks over the Fishers Tigers 66-60. We'd like to thank you for watching tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Girls Basketball on Hamilton County Television, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. Our other sponsors include Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, the Hamilton County Calendars, the Westfield Chamber of Commerce, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. On behalf of Victor McCarty and Jack Russell, my name is Brad Silbert. Thank you for joining us. Good night from Westfield.